Hello again. Boy, it's been quite the effort trying to get this darn thing uploaded. This is my third try. We'll see if this one works. Technology is not my friend. I thought my computer was going kablooey, and it turns out that it was an update on my camera phone that I use. So I spent all day just to find out that it was like a 2-second fix. Anyway, here we go. And I first did this in much better light. Let's see if I can kind of scooch over a little bit. This is another special order for a beautiful lady. I just love her so much. I've never met her, but we talk on Messenger all the time. She contacted me several months ago, and she got my last mermaid book. And so she contacted me again not too long ago, and she said, can you make a journal for my husband as well? They are practicing calligraphy, so she wanted it oversized, which you can see. This is pretty large. It's a little over 9 inches and a little over 9.5 inches. So there were challenges there, but it was fun to figure out. I wanted to do this really badly for this lady. So this is what I came up with. A few visits ago when I was down in Louisiana, my daughter and I went into a thrift/antique store, and they had huge bags of fabric, older fabric, for $1 for huge bags. So I got 2 or 3 bags. I would have gotten a lot more, but I was, taking it on a plane. So I got a brown bag and a red bag and another bag, I think. Anyway, this was in the brown bag. And I had no idea till I opened it up. And it's older. I don't think it's antique by any means, but it's an older fabric. It's got some texture to it. I, of course, grungied it up with some distress ink, and it was all in pieces. So I sewed it all together, which I think just totally added to the look. And I did it on the back as well. And this is a piece of that theater seat that G had for ages and ages, and I've used that in some books as well. And then this awesome piece came from April in some Happy Mail. I don't even know how long ago. And she reminded me, she said, hey, don't forget to use that. And it is perfect. Look at the texture on that thing, the pattern, and it's really soft. It does feel a little leathery. And when I was sewing it, it got a little funky, and it started to like bubble and pucker, so I had to cut it. But that just really added to the effect, I think. I think it's gorgeous. And April also was the one who said for a title I should use something about a scribe or a scrivener, since he is doing calligraphy. So that's what this is. He likes dragons, fairies, castles, and something else. I can't remember. We'll see. Bright colors. He likes paisley, the jewel tone. He likes paisley. So I have a bunch of stuff dragon related because I love them too. So this is a charm that was on one of the books that I recycled for this project. And that's what this is. It's supposed to be a tooth or a talon. I would say a tooth. It's not real, obviously. And it's carved at the end there. So I attached that to the spine. I'm going to swing my chair just a bit. So we have a sari silk closure. And it's not too alligatory. And I tried, here we go, since it's for writing, I tried to make it I was very conscious of that, and so most of the things in here are movable and or removable so that they can be written upon. And I hope I can get all of this in frame. There we go. So this was the first thing that I did. I fussy cut out this really awesome dragon that I've had for ages and ages. And I was going to put him on the cover. That was my original intent, but didn't turn out that way. I think he's gorgeous right here. And then Shayna had sent some vinyl in a recent Happy Mail, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's like the blue skin of this dragon. So that's why I made this pocket here. This fabric is from the red bag that I got down in Louisiana. I love getting those grab bags like that. You never know what you're going to get, and a lot of times it's really cool. So these are just mostly scraps and things like that. I took out my trash, but I only had like 4 or 5 scrap pieces of paper left out of this whole thing. I used them all. And this is a personal photo that I took of Bishop's Castle, which is here in Colorado. And I threw that in there for some castle artwork. And it lays pretty flat. Excuse me. And this is a neat picture that I found. It kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, you know, with the ice and such. Love that show and the dragons on there. You can see here how I attached the papers. Let me grab, this one's smaller, but you'll get the idea. I folded one side, and then on another page I folded the other side, and then I taped, glued, sewed, etc., however it worked. I glued them together to make longer pages. Because as you can see, if you just fold a regular page in half, that's not quite all the way, and they wanted an oversized book. So I thought this would be the best way to do that. I think it turned out really nice. And the great thing was that the pockets were really large, and you could do a lot with those pockets. I loved them. So here is a wizard, king, elf, fairy guy or something that I found. He's in there. This is a piece of vellum, but you can see how short it would be compared to the rest of the book. And there's washi throughout the book, and this is what you can do. This is an example. Just tape some extra photos or something in your book. Here is a page. She wanted the pages lined, but not like overtly lined. So I took a piece of you know, the kindergarten, first grade practice writing paper, and I copied that onto coffee stain paper, so you could barely see the lines on there, but it will help them with their calligraphy. And they wanted it mostly on this side because they're right-handed. And again, he likes paisley, which I thought was great because I had this paper already in the book by the time I found out he liked paisley. But it's got a slight little paisley pattern on it, and there's also, I don't know if you can tell or not, but the lines are printed on this as well. In one of the books that I tore up, I did some fussy cutting. This is a picture of a talon that was in the book, so I fussy cut that. You can see how I used all my scraps right there. I kept this in because, you know, the fairy woodland type look that it had. And the same with this trim here. Again, one of the books had some names of dragons, so I cut those out. There's some more of that cool material. I used everything, see? And when you have larger scraps, you can turn those into a flip out. Thank you, Dolly, for that idea. She's the one that I saw that happening on her channel. Here's another name, Crystal Ice Dragon, and they also had pictures of dragon eggs. So you'll see some of those in here as well also. She is gorgeous. I love her. She's a tie-dye fairy. Oh my gosh. Love it, love it, love it. She is gorgeous as well. I want to do a whole junk journal like centered around her with her autumn colors and such. Oh, it's so fabulous. So this book has 3 signatures. This is the middle of the first one. In each one, you'll see a picture of a dragon from one of my books. And I don't know if you can tell. Let me see. There we go. I did distress almost everything, but I also burnt some of them. Some of the edges of things. You may not be able to tell really well, but I know it's there. So this is a European dragon. And I kind of whitewashed on the back so that there would be extra room for photos and or writing. And there's another flip out. One of the books had these, they look like drawings or sketches, so I made sure that I cut some of those out, distress those, put those in here. I thought that would be appropriate for this book. There's some extra paper and a little tag. There's a little flip out here. This page is a little bit longer, but it's got the lines on it. I keep trying to block that light, sorry. There you can see how I glued and taped. There's the other side of that. There's some fun lined pages. Just some scrap paper that is flocked, and it just kind of reminded me of castles, how they might use like flocked paper in there. This is a personal photo that I took here in Colorado a couple of summers ago. Some artist had painted this wizard on the side of a building, so I thought that was really cool. Put that in here. There you can see where I did some burning of paper. I was trying really hard not to set my house on fire. And here's the other side of that vellum. This is another personal photograph from the castle here in Colorado. I got these really cool dictionary page pockets from Shayna. And she even was so nice that she put little cards in there as well. So I, again, cut out some pictures, and there's some more scrap fabric. Here's some scrap pieces out of the book. This was a scrap that I was using as a background for something, and it kind of looked cool, so I just went ahead and went with it. So this is like a scrap page. Some more sari silk. And this idea, let me see if I can get it in frame here. It was better in my head than it is in the book because they're hard to get in and out. But I'll pull one of these out. It's a scroll. This one talks about dragon's blood. And they're really cool. I love them. You can see where they're burnt and distressed, but they don't fit very well. They don't go in and out of there very well. So, to the lady that gets this, if you don't want those in there, you won't offend me if you take them out. All right. Back to the good stuff. Here we go. Here's just some pieces and parts to make this huge belly band here. And this, I wasn't crazy about these two colors together. They just didn't look right to me, so I distressed some scrap paper. Still wasn't quite right, so then I put some really old sheer fabric. I sewed that around there too. Much better, I think. So that's what that page is, and this is a page out of one of my books that I backed and just kind of tore up a little bit. Give it that old look. And this paper, if you turn it the other way, it looks kind of like an ocean view, but when they're this way, they look like dragon scales, to me anyway. So there's some scrap paper. There's another little wizard dude. And one of my favorite books and movies of all time is Never Ending Story. And if you've seen that or read that, you know there's a luck dragon. So that's what this kind of represents. It's a little piece of white furry stuff to represent the luck dragon. There's a little bit of luck in here. Some pieces of the book that I just distressed, set on fire, etc. There's some neat background in there. There's some more of that cool paper there. These two tags I inked. I put modeling paste on here. I glitter. I set them on fire. I distressed them, and that's what these guys are. And there's some more of that really cool fabric. You can really feel the texture on this one. Here's some more flocked paper. And I just here and there did some random embossing, which I love to do. There's a little pocket here, writing paper. And this is packaging that I just backed with some scraps, made it into a little tag. This drawing that I cut out reminded me of a Chinese dragon. And so Priscilla had given me some washi tape that had like Chinese writing on it, so I thought that was really cool. There's another one of those tags with the vinyl from Shayna. And she's really pretty as well. She's got like a burgundy looking dragon on her, with her. There's another cutout. I was looking for another piece of paper, which I stopped looking for after I found this. And it was a huge poem, and for some reason my eyes went right to this. And you've seen this before, I think, on various websites and Instagram and such, where you black out the words that you don't want. So when I got done blacking out the words, it says, "See the flaming, hear the roar, catch the sparks that fly." So I thought that was kind of cool. Vellum. She's really pretty, and she's got a green serpentine dragon with her. And I cut this to kind of look like dragon scales. Here's a cool little fairy page with some texture here. Thank you again, Priscilla. And this is hysterical. Solicitors will be fed to the dragon. Who needs that in their life, right? And this is just a scrap tag. This is another neat page, I think. Another envelope from Shayna. She had done the distressing on this one, so it was ready to go. So I cut out a claw from the book, did a little layering there. This is a scrap piece of paper. The Krakatoan lava dragon, I believe, is what that belongs to. There's a little piece of writing paper in here. And this, it feels like wallpaper, but it's not. It's just really cool regular paper. And then this is a scrap that I turned into a little writing card for Shayna's book. Excuse me. That was a while ago. Gosh, Shayna, that was a while ago, wasn't it? I had purchased this kit. It was inspired by the Game of Thrones. So I used it again in this. Here's some more scraps. The 5-clawed serpent dragon. There's just a scrap card. And I was cutting out some lovely die cuts the other day for some friends, and I forgot that I had this really cool embellishment folder, so I did a few of those. And here's the middle of the second signature, and I'm not entirely sure how to say this, but this dragon is called a Naja or a Naga. 5-headed serpentine kind of guy. And there's just a scrappy journal card there. This one was embossed. I've had this laying around forever and ever. Turned it into a little envelope here. A little secret envelope. You can see there where I did some of the burning. And again with a little whitewashing. Little sticker from Priscilla. She's really pretty. She's got 2 dragons that she's hanging out with. Some writing pages. Here's another really pretty autumn looking fairy. This is the egg of an Arabian sand dragon. And when you flip it open, there's a little tuck spot back there for some secret cards. And there's some more washi, of course. And on this side, I was playing around with some embossing and layering. There's another one of those talons that I cut out of the book. Another one of Shayna's vinyl tags. This is a personal photo of the dragon that's on top of the castle here in Colorado. If you haven't been there, you need to go. It's really cool. And here's kind of a studly looking wizard. There we go. And I still can't remember his name. He reminds me of that guy in Game of Thrones, Jaime's buddy, like Brownwyn or something like that. I can't remember his name, but he's the one that all he ever wants is just his own castle. He cracks me up. And this is a really neat fairy page. I think it's really neat anyway. These were really florally little pockets. That wasn't going to work, so I had some glitter paper that was adhesive backed. So that's what that is. She's gorgeous with the ladybug. I had this really neat 3D sticker here. So that's my little fairy page there. And of course there's cards back here. And here's a cool castle photo. And I decoupaged some stuff over it so that it wasn't so bright and in your face. Another really cool piece of vellum, and on this one I cut it to hopefully look like dragon wings, or dragon teeth, excuse me. Some writing paper. Writing paper. This little fella, I cut him out, and inside is a little journal there. Little mini. And there we go. And she's so pretty, I probably made her twice. There's some more of that Game of Thrones inspired paper. Just some writing tags here. I love this stuff. It's like the salvage edge. Oh, I love it. There's so much texture. Obviously, this is the third signature. Here's the middle. There's a cool looking dragon there. It looks like he's hoping to get a snack. And right here it says Hixvunt Draconis. I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's Latin for here there be dragons. And the little brads here, that's the couple's initials. A little personal touch for them. And on this side, there's that last pocket from Shayna. I had this in my stash. A scrap from the book. I was just trying to use up scraps here. That's what all of this is. But you know, it turns out great. And there's some more scraps. That's cool washi tape there. It looks like a map. This is scrapbook paper that I had in my stash, but it looks like leather or skin or something. There's another scroll. I'm not going to take it out. because it's a pain in the tushy, but it's the same thing basically. It has another little poem in it. A drawing and an egg. Some more fairies. That'll be really pretty to write on with a gel pen, I think. And one more of those cool little flip outs there. There's some like ledger paper or something. That's really cool. It's got a really great texture to it. And I had just a few scraps left over, so made those into tags. And I've been doing this here lately too. Instead of just punching one hole, I do 2 or 3. It's kind of fun. And this is a personal photo again. There's some stained glass artwork from the castle here in Colorado. And we're at the end here. This is, I used all of this fabric, which is kind of a bummer because it's really cool. But I'll just have to go back to Louisiana, I guess. Anyway, this came out of the book too. Talking about how you need to be very careful because dragons will guard their treasure. There's some more of that salvage edge material. And that's attached with brads. And when you flip it up, there's some more cards here. There's the 3-headed dragon. I signed it here. And the last thing over here, there we go. Who are the men who dare to take the name Dragon Slayer? Ta-da! So, there we go. I love this thing. It is so stinking cool. Look at that. Oh, and I love this bigger size. If you guys ever get the chance to make one in a bigger size, you should definitely go for it. Bit of a challenge, but it was super fun. And if you do it, I'd love to see how you arrange your paper in here too. I know you can cheat and use like the 11 by 17 or whatever, but, or what is that? 8.5 by 17 or whatever paper. Anyway, I didn't have any. So, you know, improvise. Anyway, here we go. Scrivener's Tale. Thanks for sticking with me, obviously. And I've gotten quite a few new subbies here lately. I want to say hi to all my new subbies. How are you? Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. Thanks for giving me your time. I know time is so precious. So give me a shout out here. I am way behind on answering my comments on YouTube. I will correct that as soon as possible. I swear. Forgive me. And let me know what you think. Until then, everybody have a great week coming up. Bye.